Well, the world was watching as U.S. President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin met in Anchorage, Alaska today to negotiate a possible ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine. Besides what both describe as a constructive meeting, no ceasefire deal has been made, something local Ukrainian advocates say they're not surprised about. Reporter Maximus Osborne has more on their reaction.
What you're seeing now are Ukrainians in mourning who have lost friends and family and pieces of themselves from the war. These videos and pictures were taken by longtime Ashland resident Christopher Briscoe, a renowned author and photojournalist who has been on the front lines in Ukraine.
Every family that I've ever met has lost at least one or two family members to this war.
Briscoe and Paul Heward, an Ashland history teacher and Ukraine studies developer, watched closely as President Trump and Russian President Putin met in Alaska to discuss a possible ceasefire deal. They say they and Ukrainians have heard it all before.
By now, my friends in Ukraine are like, yeah, okay, but we're going to keep fighting.
Attempts to gain a ceasefire up to this point have been fruitless.
No ceasefire deal was struck from the meeting, but President Trump says he will be making calls to NATO and Kyiv. Both Heward and Briscoe were concerned that Ukrainian President Zelensky was not present or represented in the meeting.
Omitting Zelensky and our European allies from this meeting is a capital mistake.
Heward feels that President Putin is doing his best to delay possible punitive tariffs from the Senate that would tax countries that purchase oil from Russia, something Heward says would be damaging to the country's economy.
His economy is not in great shape, and sanctions would be a highly effective tool to drive Putin to the bargaining table where real and substantive negotiations could take place.
Briscoe and Heward say they want nothing more than an end to the war.
Every night, there are bombs and missiles and drones everywhere.
Peace to me looks like a Ukrainian victory. Russia goes home, and you have essentially the status quo before the war reestablished, with territory that is now occupied by the Russians returned to the Ukrainians, and a complete cessation of hostilities.
In Medford, Maximus Osborne reporting.